Hello world, it's Berto Prey 5, Qapla. So Anti-Trekker says he is just too busy to stream. So I figured, well, I could stream for a little bit since probably nobody was thinking of coming on because this is the time Anti-Trekker normally comes on Wednesdays. Say hello if anybody's around and hang out for an hour or an hour and a half at least before I have to get ready. And then at my normal time around 5 p.m. Eastern, this evening will be, of course, Deep Space Nine episode The Wire, which is an awesome episode of Deep Space Nine. It's a Garrick-centric episode, and I can't wait to watch it. Joseph Petrick was first, apparently. Qapla, Joseph. Thomas Potts was a close second. Oh, I should click on these. So Joseph Petrick was first. Thomas Potts says hi. Welcome, Thomas. Carlo says hi. Welcome, Carlo. Mr. Miles, chief engineer, says first. Oh, and let me put the link in. Nope, that is the wrong thing. That is the wrong thing. Invite. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. You know what? Let's just put it. I'm just going to put it in here. But here's the deal. If I don't recognize your name, you're off. You're off. I'm not putting you on. So it's somebody I have to recognize. And then I will let you in if you're so interested. That's just the way it's going to be for today because this was impromptu. I didn't set up anything. Dan23 says hi. Welcome, Dan. Number one sci-fi says Qapla. Qapla, number one sci-fi. And we're getting our first. Oh, we're getting a couple people, though I don't see. Okay, I see Rambling Canuck is here. Who is, I see number one sci-fi. Qapla. Oh, I got to get rid of.
Hello.
I got to get rid of somebody that's got a black screen who's backstage. I need to see an avatar or a name or something to figure out who you are. Let me get rid of the let me get rid of this so we can see everybody.
Hello, Bird.
Hello, Rambling. Hello, number one. And
Hello,
it's
Rambling.
Joseph. It's
Hello,
Joseph.
Bird.
Welcome,
Hello,
Joseph.
Yeah, hello.
Qapla, everybody.
Is it me having the echo?
Yep.
Okay, going to work on it. Give me a second.
And we've got Alexander in the house. Welcome, Alexander.
Hi.
Qapla.
Glad to see you.
Yeah, work. Okay, let me get through some of the chats. Not Ryan Johnson says hello and Qapla. Oh, I missed a few. If you guys have anything to talk about, feel free to talk. Qapla, number one sci-fi. Resolute says hello. Cinnabon Bunny says hello. Welcome, Cinnabon Bunny. Thomas says this isn't your time. No, but Anti-Trekker. I texted Anti-Trekker. I said, what's the deal? What's the deal? Why aren't you on? He said, I'm too busy. Feel free to stream in my place. He gave me his permission to stream. And since I figured, well, I know other people would stream, but probably if they're nice like me, they probably weren't streaming because they figured Anti-Trekker was going to come on the minute they hit stream. But since he wasn't, I said, well, the least I can do is go on and tell everybody not to wait, not to wait for him the entire time. And Life with Matthew in the car. Awesome. Welcome.
In the car. Hopefully I'm not giving you a bad echo. I'll leave if I am.
No, that's fine.
I want to try.
Joseph,
No
you
echo.
sound good too.
Okay, perfect. So echo is gone. Fine.
So, so basically Anti-Trekker's too busy for us, he says. He's got too many things to do. And I should just, he said, not only should I stream, but also if you were going to super chat him today or tomorrow, you should instead super chat me. Those are his words. I would show you, but I don't have the camera set up. You can trust me.
That sounds legit. He's a very generous guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Total legit.
He said Kurdistan was so rich, and you can see by the house he has in his Google video that he actually has too much money for tax reasons. He can't accept any more super chats.
Great video today,
That is
Licensed
hilarious.
Yeah,
So thanks.
it was
I channeled my inner rock solid to do that video.
you were definitely channeling Rock Solid. I was like, this feels so wrong. It's not on Rock Solid's channel. Carlos says, hope you're
I
well.
don't have,
Sorry.
oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, Carlos says, hope you're well. Mamo pray and Sisto pray and Sassy. Thank you, Carlo.
Yeah, Brother Pray, I want to know if Momo Pray did the Momo challenge.
The Mambo Challenge?
The Momo challenge.
What is the Mambo Challenge?
That's the challenge where, like, you see a picture of Momo and they give you challenge to do.
You see a picture of Mambo?
Momo
Mamo pray?
Momo challenge.
Is Momo like a comic character?
It's a kind of sculpture. Look on the internet, you'll find Momo challenge.
Mamo says she's too old to do challenges.
Okay, good. Because it's better to not do the Momo challenge.
No, but I still want to do the 10-year-old spam challenge at some point.
The day after I die, you can do that.
You've been told.
LOL.
Bird's been told.
I'm just being
Yeah, what is the spam challenge?
Well, when Mamo Pray was going through my because after I got sick and Mamo Pray moved into the house, she was going through my kitchen cabinets and found
spamming you, you know.
Oh, there he is.
Right now.
Too busy to stream, but not too busy to spam. But Anti-Trigger put Bird in about 5 times if you agree that you said that they should send me your super chats.
And the problem is we cannot hide him on the channel. He's an admin.
No, it's okay. So Mamo Pray found a can of spam that I had bought when I literally first bought my house and I made my first food run to the supermarket. I bought a can of spam or two, probably just one can, just in case as an emergency, that I needed meat and God forbid, society collapsed. So I put it way in the back of the cabinet and I never touched it. And so it was several years after I bought the house that I got sick. And then several years after I got sick that Mamo Pray found it the first time. And it was 10 years old. And then she found it again recently. And it was even older, like 15 years past date. And so then the joke was, I was still going to try to eat it on the stream. And she said, okay, well, then I said, well, Mom Pray said no, but I said I'd do it on the Sunday while Sisso Pray was here. She'd give it to me to eat. And then I think she thought I was serious, too serious. She didn't want to risk that happening, and I think she tossed it. So she wasted perfectly good spam.
In theory.
There's people starving. Some countries where
I hardly doubt it was perfect, the spam. I hardly doubt it.
Yeah, I think it went south a long time ago.
Well, we Googled it, and apparently, although it might not taste good, it doesn't actually make you sick, no matter how old the spam is.
But I don't believe
That's
it.
disturbing on so many levels.
And Joseph Patrick with a €2 super chat. As per Anti-Trekker's wishes, here are some coins. Thank you so much, Joseph. Yes, those please
You
follow.
are welcome.
Wishes. That is exactly what he wants for me and for everybody here.
Yeah, and he's freaking out backstage.
Oh, he is backstage. Okay,
I'm
I'll go off
asking.
for a minute and give him a chance to talk.
I can ask, and I asked him in the chat if he wants to go. Come on, I can.
Oh, Bird left.
Bird left, so you can talk. Yes, exactly. On his own stream.
Doesn't even have the courage to face me after speaking lies about me on his stream. So, yeah. So I like the way he's trying to play it up. That I'm like.
He only took an example from a certain leader of a large country who says how rich he is, and maybe he is not that rich. I'm not saying a name.
Well, that was really bad. Whatever you said there, I couldn't hear it.
Oh,
And Michael, did you did the Momo challenge?
I don't even. I still don't understand what Momo is.
Nobody does.
Yeah, so I don't know what the Momo challenge is because I don't know what a Momo is.
But our Albanese friend, he knows what is the Momo challenge. You should watch on the internet the Momo challenge. This is a very popular challenge that was there, and you have Momo was giving you challenge, and you needed to follow it.
But Alexander, what is a Momo?
Momo was a character that was adding you on, was giving you challenge.
I still have no idea what you're talking about. I think that there's something misfiring in your head.
Right on Google Momo challenge, you'll see it exists. The Momo challenge.
Oh yes, this non-existent. It was hoax basically that spread on Facebook. I remember right now. It was like you were supposed to. You got a call in the middle of the night, and you were supposed to do things that the voice in the phone is telling you, and it supposedly ended in some self-damage, like people were cutting themselves with blades, and there were like people like, and it was addressed towards teenagers, and it was pretty dark thing.
And
yeah.
so Alexander thinks that's great.
Don't do the Momo challenge, please. Don't do that.
I don't plan to. Don't worry.
Me neither, and it was aimed towards teenagers, and none of us is a teenager. Yeah.
Okay, but
Life with Matthew right now looks like he's like on his way to a hit.
Yeah.
Maybe life with going to do the Momo challenge. So I'm a little bit like scared. Don't do that, Matthew.
No. What I'm waiting for.
Number one sci-fi. I will let you back in, but it seems like you may have taken a short break. You were muted the whole time. So
what I'm waiting for is for somebody to cut off Life with Matthew, and we get to see Road Rage, Life with Matthew style.
Yeah. It's like the camera goes fuzzy for a minute, and the next thing we see is like the back of Life with Matthew as he's beating the crap out of someone on the ground. So that's what you get. That's Life with Matthew.
What you deserve.
He does on the way to it.
So Bert.
Yes.
First of all, let me say now and for the record that what Bird was saying about super chats is a complete lie. But then again, we kind of expect to hear lies from Kuroga, which I understand. and this is after. Now I've been working on getting stuff prepared for the live stream tonight, and this is a live stream that you're going to be a guest on. So I'm trying to benefit you, and so you're here basically trying to soil my name while I'm in effect trying.
No, that was not soiling your name. I got you tremendous respect from these people. Nobody got soiled. No, if anything, I
Look at the name of this live stream.
Anti-Tracker is too busy to stream. That's factual. Okay, and then to say that you were such a good person that you said that you had too much money, and
I didn't say that.
People should super chat me instead because I was streaming in place of you. So you saying you didn't say that? I thought you did.
You thought I did.
Michael,
really.
Maybe Andy sent the message.
I know, Michael, you are not so rich. This is the reason why when you wrote that you were too busy, I was really, really afraid. Then you decide to do the Momo challenge. And this was the reason why you were busy doing the Momo challenge. And I didn't want that you do that. Don't do that, please, Michael. Don't do that.
Thank you so much, Cinnabon Bunny, for the $5 super chat. Since Anti-Trigger doesn't want it, here you go, Bird. Thank you.
I give up. I just can't win.
But it was earlier super chat before you came and clarified that you actually wanted
that
the
one
money.
just came in. That one from Cinnabon just came in.
Really?
Yes.
So you got another $5 super chat previously that you missed, or?
Of course, Bird is ignoring.
I'm sorry, I was talking to Mamo Prey. What's going on?
Bird is sitting there
Ignoring your own stream.
super
Oh
chat.
yeah, there was another super chat. Yes.
There was another the last super chat I see was Cinnabons.
There is not Ryan Johnson super chat. Cinnabon super chat, and
yeah, not Ryan Johnson super chatted you $5 a while ago, Bird. But you're so busy that you're ignoring your super.
Oh my God! There we go.
It's one thing to ignore the regular chat when you have a panel on, but dang, you're ignoring super chats.
But this is
Sorry,
not the chat of Ryan
I gotta open my browser. Not Ryan Johnson with a $5 super chat. When you are getting residuals from all the times Anti-Tracker uses clips from your streams, fair pay, hashtag fair pay for Bird. Thank you so much.
that this is not the $5 of Ryan Johnson. Who gave it?
Yeah,
if this is not Ryan Johnson, then give the $5. Who it is?
So yeah.
All right. Hi everyone. I've got something to say.
Hello, Mamo Prey.
Hi everyone. It's really not right for Bird to be getting Anti-Tracker super chats.
Well, whose side are you
wait,
on?
Wait.
You have a wonderful mother.
Yes, I'm glad you think so. And keep thinking it after my next sentence.
Probably won't, but go ahead.
No, so 18, you just deduct it from whatever you send him for the website stuff.
What?
Okay.
Okay? So we'll even out.
I want to know
good one, Momo Prey. Good one.
I want to know if the Momo challenge is the challenge of Momo Prey.
No, Mamo Prey didn't put out any challenges.
Okay.
Anti-Tracker, check out my comment on your Manu video. Also, did you see the Discord comment? Manu Interami. Manu Interami. I gotta practice.
So yeah, Roxal put on the I put it's Manu Interame.
Oh, a stealth chat for $10,000. Awesome. I don't know where I get the stealth chat from, but I will find it.
No, that's a message to me. Actually, you didn't. It's in code. He's helping me locate where he's being held in Karoga GPS coordinates. So yeah, Roxa on the and by the way, for those of you that don't know, I put out a little kind of a trailer, if you will, for the Manu live stream that's going to happen tonight. Anybody that's awake, you should be there. I think it'll be fun. Bird's going to be there, so that'll make it slightly less fun. But Captain Foley will be there, so that'll make it slightly more fun. So,
which is perfect for me. It's going to be 9 a.m.
Right, so a good time for Joseph. But yeah, I guess Roxala wants me to ask Manu about his appearance with the guys at GameSack and what he thinks about Star Trek video games and why there aren't any on consoles that don't suck. Wow, that's not a load.
You didn't like the one for Game Boy?
Is there a Star Trek game on Game Boy?
On
That's
Game
the
Boy?
Game Boy or Game Boy Color. Yeah, it was lackluster.
Yeah.
I actually liked Starfleet Academy on the SNES. That actually was one of my favorite console games.
I've never played I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever played a console Trek game that I've liked much. I did like the old Star Trek arcade game. But yeah, I can't. But as far as console games, I can't think of any that have been really all that great. Anyway, guys, so yeah, so now I'm spending the rest of the day basically watching stuff with Manu and trying to be well versed on his career and movies and Voyager appearances and all that, because obviously we'll be talking to him tonight. I don't know everything that we're going to talk about. I do know that he said that talking about the Ichib situation is fair game, so that'll be fun. Because here's the thing: is that I'm sure you guys know, all across the Phantom Menace has been a ton of speculation about him not being asked to play the part, or him refusing to play the part, or whatever. But hey, we're gonna let's get it direct from the horse's mouth rather than rumors and speculation. Was he asked? Was he not asked?
Michael,
Michael,
what is the reaction of the menace? That menace linked to the end of December.
The what? Huh?
So
You
Andy,
broke up there, Alex.
Action with that thing, or the arcade thing? What? So, do you hear me better?
Yes, better. Yes.
So I will ask the question again. So that menace linked to the extremity of the digestive system. What is the reaction about what happened in Disney? That they are completely crazy or just crazy?
Disney?
Yes.
But with Bob Iger?
Yes.
Bob Iger's been wanting to step down for years.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is not a
Week
shocker.
stepping down. That seems effective immediately. That seems kind of weird to me.
Well, maybe.
Well, he's still staying on as an executive CEO through this year.
Yeah, I don't know. I like I said, when I personally, I think that people are going to make a bigger deal out of it than it is. I think Bob Iger is just done. Why? Think about it. The guy's making more money than God, and he's sitting there having to get the flack from the fans and the flack from the SJWs and all this. And it's like, what? At what point do you just say, I've got my 100 million. I'm done.
I think
Welcome Orville Nation to the stream. Qapla Orville Nation.
So
I think it will change nothing. I think it will change nothing.
So Anti-Trekker, how's it gonna? Are you gonna have to tie yourself down to the chair when you go on Midnight's Edge because your head is gonna be so big to be able to walk in and go, well, I got him on my stream and you don't.
No, I'm not going to say. I will brag a little bit that he's going to be on my stream.
Don't brag too much until it actually happens.
Right?
Okay?
Yeah, because that's it. Well, I'll say he's scheduled to be on my stream.
Yeah, he's scheduled. I have a hard time that he's going to wake up at
Yeah.
Well, maybe he hasn't. Maybe he doesn't go to sleep. I mean, he's West Coast, I think.
Yeah, he's on the West Coast, so it's
So
only
maybe
midnight.
it's just a late night for him. But yeah.
Yes, and please tonight, if you are doing a challenge, try to avoid the Momo one. Do the Tide Pod instead, because
Nobody's doing any challenges, Alexander.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't do it. I don't do it.
Right. Well, nobody's going to. By the way, so Bird,
I worry for you.
why are you worried? I'm not doing any of that crap. I'm not stupid.
No, I want to be sure, Michael. I want to be sure.
Well, you can be sure. Bird,
I take care for you.
Yeah. How do you put the background video on for StreamYard?
It has to be an animated GIF less than 3 megabytes, which is a pain in the ass. But I did this one. If you want, I can send it to you. But I went to Giphy and I found a GIF, and then I, in software, changed the aspect ratio and then made it smaller and smaller until I got it to 2.5 megabytes.
How long is the actual video format file?
It's a 3.5 second clip, but it just repeats in
Well, yeah, I know that, but I'm just trying to think of. I was actually thinking about doing something a little different, but I wanted your help in getting that set up for tonight.
If you want to try and turn your bridge into it or something, or
no, something a little more appropriate to the situation. I'll explain it to you when we're not.
Okay, well, I mean, if you have it as an okay, so there you can see,
yeah,
a little bit more of it. I mean, if you have any MP, oh Jesus, which one? There we go. If you have any MP4 file, we can convert it to a GIF. Then I have software for working with GIFs.
Okay.
That can make it, we can change the pixels and whatnot to try and get it down to size.
Then after I get some of the stuff I'm working on done, I'll get you an MP4 file if you can, and so you can help me and show me how to set it up.
Yeah. I mean, basically, I'd probably have to do it because I don't think you can download the software I have is from Jask Animation Shop. It's called.
Yeah, I used to be able to make GIFs in Adobe Photoshop, but since I don't have Photoshop anymore, can't do that. Anyway, I am going to get going because I got way too much to do. Anti-Tracker needs to do the read all the Anti-Tracker challenge.
You got to read all the comments addressed to you during one of your streams.
I usually do okay. I do better than you're doing. At least I'm not missing super chats most of the time.
Yeah.
And I still think Life with Matthew is on its way to a hit.
I want just to say to Mr. Miles, I'm not gonna do the challenge. Okay, that's fine.
I'm confident you're not gonna do the challenge. See, Live with Matthew is switching the camera. Does that sign say, "Oh yeah, he's on his way to Quebec"? It looks like.
I thought, there are no challenge to do here. Okay, Momo, stay at home. We don't need that here.
Yeah. So, yeah. So here comes the hitman to Quebec. That'll be interesting.
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid.
Yeah. He's got a trunk full of Tide Pods. Watch out.
That's the kind of challenge. That's an awful challenge. This is not bad as the Momo one, but this is another bad challenge.
Oh yeah, by the way, big shout out to Sci-Fi Nation for standing up his audience last night.
What happened?
So at the end of my live stream, I don't know if you watched my live stream this morning, but at the end of my live stream, I asked if somebody else was going to start a stream, and Sci-Fi Nation said he would. So he set up a stream, and about a dozen of us went over there, and he never showed. He set up the stream and then never started it. And he actually went over to someone else's stream.
That was
and
Wesley's
stream while we're all waiting for him to start the stream.
Oh, yeah, I know, because after your stream was Wesley's stream. I just assumed you guys went to Wesley's.
Oh, no, I didn't even know Wesley streamed. He didn't say anything.
That's unfair.
Yes, JP, that's what I'm using. I mean, Jask PSP Animation Shop is still, the software was made in like 1996. and it's still the best software for working with animated GIFs I can find.
All right, so you guys have a good one. I'll-
Take care, Anti-Tracker. Get back to work.
All right.
Take care. See you tomorrow morning.
So you're on Mead tonight, correct?
Have
I
a
am
good
on
day,
Mead
Michael.
tonight.
Have a good day.
Okay, so Mead at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Right.
And don't do the challenge, please.
No
Don't do that.
challenge. Okay, we can bring back in number one sci-fi. Are you here, number one sci-fi?
Yes, I am here, and Alexander's
very cool.
is seriously trolling you, dude.
No. What are you doing? What are you saying?
Strom versus Aberjam, UK. I wish I could tell you it couldn't be worse. I really do, but it's worse, much worse. What was worse? Oh.
You need to go back in the chat, probably.
Oh, fake news, Aberjam. Who am I kidding? No one sounds like Bird. Just be thankful you're not in the mines with the orphan. Okay, that's not sassy, whoever that was.
No, it was my dog, my dogs, and one of them who had the eye surgery and everything, and is way better today.
Yay, way better.
Way
I'm
better.
clapping.
Way better. I'm so happy you wouldn't believe it. It cost me like a load of money, at least in terms that we pay here. It was around 300 euro that it cost me, everything, which is for the Slovak wages and everything, substantial amount of money for a veterinarian visit. But yeah, the dog is way
I'm
better.
very, very happy.
Not only you trust me, but anyway, we can talk nerd stuff.
Yeah. I heard that a lot of orphans finish in the mine because they try to do the Momo Prey channel. And the Momo challenge. And
What-
they
what-
all finish-
What's the mom?
Alexander, you found another trolling topic.
No, whoa, stop. I mean,
As you
this
quit
is serious.
trolling, Alexander. Stop trolling, Alexander.
I don't troll.
And it's Alexander. Momo Challenge is 2015. We are like 5 years over.
So
Yes,
DJ is going to be doing a live review of Picard as it drops.
Who?
Who?
DJ Odyssey
Oh, like last week with Ricky as well.
and Ricky. It was last week. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so.
Don't
It,
miss
it
that.
was it was something to wake up to. Yeah, exactly. I basically never watched a Picard episode without spoilers because every time everybody's streaming earlier, then I'm able to watch it. Because obviously I'm getting the European early previews from the internet, and then I watch it later on Amazon when it drops. But it drops always like Friday midnight.
Thomas Potts.
So, but anyway, let's see if it's worth watching. But anyway, if it even wasn't, we have to admit to ourselves, everybody in the stream, that we will watch Discovery when it drops. Is there somebody who doesn't want to watch Discovery?
That would be me. I won't be watching it at all.
I'm never watching it again.
I'm never
I
watching.
will watch it, but basically just to see how bad it is.
I'll watch Bird of Prey 5's reviews. That's as close to watching Discovery as I will ever get.
Yeah, because you are weak and you gave up after the first season. We all managed through the second season.
I like my walls without holes in them. Discovery.
Having brick walls helps.
As for Tubian's question, I pronounce it GIF, and if people want to pronounce it GIF like the peanut butter, that's fine with me. I don't care, but I pronounce it GIF most of the time.
I pronounce this
GIF.
GIF because each time I see a GIF, it's like a little bit like if I receive a present, so I name them gift.
I like that logic, Alexander.
Yeah. and never. And I wrote it somewhere. Never accept a gift from a German, because gift in German means poison. Yeah. So that's the logic.
They are that kind of
Matthew, how long have you drive?
So, any predictions for
How long
Picard
have I
tonight?
I think
About 6 hours.
I think 7 of 9 will not be there.
No, I don't think we're going to see 7 and 9. I guess we do see him get to the Borg cube. I wonder if it starts at the Borg cube or ends there.
I would assume ends.
But there were like scenes from the Borg cube. Even Picard was touched by a Borg, and he had some PTSD, at least from the flashbacks. What I saw in the trailer. So I think there will be substantial time on the cube Borg cube. Yeah. So and we have Soji that who looks like she's getting activated. We will have so it will be interesting. I'm really looking forward.
I will take a look, Rock Solid. The problem with me is that the Borg cube has been the weakest part of the entire Picard storyline.
Yeah, because nothing nothing happened there till this moment. There we had like
skating.
Okay. This brought the ice skating scene. Definitely brought the a whole cube plot to a very low standards. But definitely, we had the Romulan lady. What was her name? Rhonda.
Yeah.
Rhonda, who told her story. And that's basically it. And there was this only action scene on the cube with the gun grabbing, and yeah, nothing else. And then we had only the romantic plot between Narek and Soji, and that was it. But now I hope something more will happen. It looked a little bit, at least it looked a little bit more actiony, this episode from the trailer.
So DJ predicts I'm going to oversleep, miss Picard, and the interview.
No. It'll be Anti-Trekker that oversleeps like he did last week.
That's right. Because then if he oversleeps, if I oversleep, the interview still goes on at least. If Anti-Trekker
Personally, I think to have a better episode than last week, it will be a big challenge.
Not really.
Alexander, are you going to be at Anti-Trekker's stream at 3 a.m. Eastern? Alexander?
I don't know. I think I will sleep because right now I start to sleep. You don't hear me?
I heard you now, but I guess I didn't hear you the first time.
So I'm not sure I will be breaker at 3 o'clock.
I wasn't sure if you could resist somebody who was only 1 degree separated from 7 to 9. I mean, Manu probably has 7 of 9's phone number.
This is the one question that we should go for. Give me, can you share the phone number? Jerry Ryan, yeah.
Give me 5 of the digits from 7 of 9. Jerry Ryan's phone number. Any 7, any 5.
Don't even have to be in order. I'll figure it out.
I think it would be a very high phone bill till you get to the correct one, but
Alexander will pay. It'll be worth it.
Yes, I can, but I have Skype,
sacrificing the Cuban wedding, yeah.
Yeah, I have to tell
the budget.
We can't get married this year, honey.
I spend it on
I've got a five.
I sign
Bird of
is
Prey needed a phone bill paid.
It's a 9 of 7. Yeah. Well, also, I gotcha. She's a 9 out of 7. So tonight on my
Alexander, please don't whistle. It's very bad in the headphones.
Oh, sorry. Tonight on my DS9 stream, I have, if Wesley Crusher is here, I have something from Wesley to open.
And you already know what it is, or is it going to be a surprise for you as well?
I'm pretty sure I know what it is. But I haven't opened it yet. It's still closed. It's still sealed. And then Friday, I will have my first super chat reward for my stream, for my Bet Live stream. It's work done. It's actually done, but I don't want to premiere it during a Deep Space Nine stream because we're watching Deep Space Nine. So it's a 1 minute clip. That will be the first Bird of Prey super chat.
1 minute clip.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not giving any more details until the day of. Oh, look at all that! Look at all that chat in the back room I hadn't seen. Oh, the private chat. I just found it.
Was it all anti-tracker?
Anti-tracker, Yosef, and some other stuff.
Yeah, because you left your own stream just for anti-tracker, and I offered my position.
Well, thank you.
If there is somebody else who wants to join, I can.
Well, we've got
myself
room now. We've got room for one. Oh, I didn't put out the link again. We've got room for one more person.
I know the number one sci-fi wanted to be in the stream. I'm not sure if he
left the stream. He can come
Oh, he
back
left the
if he
stream.
wants.
Okay.
He can come back if he wants. I've got probably another 20 or 30 minutes I can stream before I got to end it. So if anybody else wants to come in for a little bit, we go. Number one sci-fi is back. Welcome back.
Welcome.
All right, glad to see you. I was worried that you went, don't do that.
Hey, I'm sorry, my power just went out.
Oh, that's not
good.
In my house.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, my power, because it's really storming bad here in Florida. Here we go. Oh my God.
There's no
I
crime.
guess I gotta leave the stream. I guess I'm leaving the stream. I can't handle that.
Is that Bobo?
DJ, I think you are not remodeling your house. You are just spending all your money for strange costumes.
That was weird.
No, this is
That was very
like
weird.
that.
Yeah, that was. DJ
Challenge.
should DJ should make a horror film, basically.
That would be the most horrible film ever made.
Yeah, but he could make a campy. He could make a campy horror film, basically, in his different outfits. I mean, the Rainbow Unicorn would be a classic killer. I mean, just have fun with it.
Could be could do a movie, an historical movie about the
Since I
Momo
gave
challenge.
him a suggestion, I want the royalties from it.
I mean, it's like a little bit like if the the air is it's now poisoned, and I don't know what's coming from.
But yeah, DJ, please make a horror film with your various costumes. I think that's a great idea for you.
Do that. Dress as a mascot.
Yeah, dressed as I mean
You
all
have
your different suits.
two
I mean, you
mascots.
got
Yes.
obviously you got a lot, you know.
He's dressed as like a
Or just
panda.
or
Did
just
life with Matthew's car turn over?
I'm
Yeah.
starting to wonder
Oh my
that
God, he's-
myself. He went sideways.
he's driving sideways.
car
It's a
in a ditch.
miracle. Oh my God.
Life with
On two wheels.
He tilted it on 2 wheels and is driving awkwardly.
Yeah. It's a still image even. Oh my God, he froze himself.
Oh, there it is.
There we go.
We're worried.
It looked
Yeah,
like you
just
had
wait for the
rolled
bad
your
spot was
car.
all.
Looked like you rolled your car.
The screen randomly locked on me, so it auto rotated.
Yeah. No, that was cool driving sideways. I did not know you could do that.
Stunt driver.
I'm a very good driver.
Yeah. So that
Just-
pretty much puts to end Darren Wagner's flat Earth concept, since you could drive sideways, right?
I was just driving on the rim is all.
So are you driving to California right now?
I am headed west, yes, but not
Okay,
as far as
okay.
California. I'm going to stop in New Mexico.
Okay, this is better like that
Which
because
part of New Mexico?
people I worried
Roswell.
for you because there they are a kind
Yeah.
of condition.
Where are you
know.
going to? Where are you going to in New Mexico? Or is that classified?
It is. No, it's not classified. It's right on the Texas-New Mexico border. It's a place called Jal. That's the closest city to where I'm going to be. There's a lot of sand out there that needs to be washed, apparently.
As I heard in New Mexico, there are a lot of New Mexican. That's but it's supposed to be normal, I think.
New Mexicans are not bad drivers. They've got
But-
a lot of them drive Jeeps.
New Mexican and New Mexico, this is something normal, I think. So, but this is my opinion.
Yes, New Mexico is a state of the United States.
Yeah. I mean, I got
Between Arizona and Texas.
three of my
But
brothers.
I mean,
Three of my
this
brothers.
is all New Mexican, no old Mexican there. Just
Old
New-
Mexico is a country south of Texas and New
Yeah,
Mexico.
New Mexicans are not the same people.
Are you trying to say there's a lot of Hispanic people? Yeah, there's a lot of Hispanic people in Texas, New Mexico, Arizona.
Yeah, everywhere.
New Mexico is the only state with a constitution, both Spanish and English.
That's neat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit of
And,
trivia.
and Texas
At
is
least,
the,
there are no conditions, so
and
that's
Texas
fine.
is the only state that if it wanted to break away from the U.S., it could, because everything is internalized in Texas.
Well, it could.
If you mean like in theory we could leave, yeah, but in like legality, that's a myth. We can't secede, not legally. We gave up that right after the Civil War.
I thought it was in their
very
constitution
much.
that they could. I thought
I
it was
think
in
they could-
Texas Constitution that they could leave.
You could break into several
Nah,
states if you wanted.
Aren't they a republic, really? The Republic of Texas?
we were originally a nation, yeah, but and then when we joined the Union, we had provisions in our Constitution that we could leave if we didn't like this. But after the Civil War, all that got removed, and it's no longer a thing we're allowed to do. And frankly,
Yes,
we
the
wouldn't
Lone
want to. We don't have the infrastructure. There's
Yeah,
a
but they
reason we
keep-
joined with the
Well,
Union.
it seems after every election they bring up, oh, why don't we just succeed? You know?
Every state asks that.
It's because a lot of people don't know history.
Forgot, because you can't.
Yeah.
Because nobody can.
But
We're
in the
stuck-
in
we're stuck
Texas,
together.
There was the Lone Ranger and Tonto there.
So what part of Texas?
Lone Ranger is one of my favorite old shows.
What part of Texas do you live in?
I live in the north central, the Dallas Fort Worth, where all the good
Oh, okay,
stuff
so in
is.
the middle, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, yeah, I lived in San Antonio for a little bit.
I was born there. Good
Oh,
place.
really?
Oh, yeah.
What area did? Or I guess I shouldn't say what area, but I mean San Antonio. You know how it has basically the highway that goes all the way around it, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah. So, like, were you born the eastern part, northern part, central, whatever part?
I honestly don't know. I was there for a short time.
Okay. But
Did we?
yeah, I worked at the Brooke Army Medical Hospital for a little bit. JP's welcome.
Hey, what's up?
Hello, JP.
Matthew,
JP's
you
you.
they're driving really fast. They seem to need to get where they're going.
Watch out! You got some flashing lights behind you there, Matthew.
I always look where I'm going. I actually have a thing where I'm going. Humorously, I saw Kronos' comment. It's the only one I've read, which I shouldn't have been reading because I'm driving.
There's a panel today. Yes, we have a panel today.
Well, what we don't see is the fact that Life with Matthew has little video screens in his
Mighty
glasses,
Day.
and he's watching a movie.
Yeah.
I
do often have up some Star Trek when I'm driving. I'm not going to lie.
Get closer to that bobtailing truck. Oh, is that a
That's
military?
an army. That looked like an army vehicle on the back of that truck.
Yeah, it was.
Bert, if
It
you
is
want,
too far from
Or
you
Marine,
can be
one
backstage
or the
for a
other.
bit. And you can come back up.
What's that? You want me to slow down?
No,
Yeah.
no, go over 100, please.
Okay, I put rambling backstage for a couple minutes, just to say a few things.
Joe-
Nobody said Texas.
Joe, put me on backstage.
And
Put me to backstage and bring
you
him
want to
back.
go backstage?
I need to go. I need to go anyway. I need to go
Okay.
anyway. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye.
Joseph.
Yeah.
Bye, Erica.
I stay in the video. I stay in the video in the chat. But for
Okay.
now, bye.
Take care, Joseph.
So,
Don't do
so
any
you been to Arizona, Matthew?
Darren Wagner has come in.
Hello.
Welcome, Darren.
Camera.
I have a
Yes,
I have to be brief, and hi to you all, but I'm actually logging on so I can say I asked something of Alexander. There's Alexander, are you familiar with the Conan the Barbarian short stories written by Robert E. Howard, the original material?
I bought it. I didn't read it already. I have the complete books, all the novels. I have it, but I didn't read it already. I mean,
Okay, because there's a character on the Queen of the Black Coast story, and I don't know how to pronounce her name, and I wanted to know how you pronounced it.
in the Queen of the Black Coast.
Yeah.
So which is it? Valeria or Belly or
Okay, what was that second one?
Belly?
Okay, that's how you pronounce it? Okay. That's what I wanted to know.
The girlfriend of Conan, the only one that have been the real girlfriend of Conan on
Right.
some times.
Right.
Is a pirate. They're Billy.
Yeah, she didn't wear much. Just a bunch of bling.
Yeah.
But
Valeria, too, by
yeah,
the
but I
way.
was just wondering because I was looking up the pronunciation of her name all over the place online and nobody really knows, so I just wanted to know how you pronounce it.
But this is the way I pronounce it. But I don't know. I mean, he was an Anglophone. I pronounce that in French. I never hear her name in anywhere. That's the problem. So I pronounce it Belly, but
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that the
Just going to break in to tell Captain Redneck, well, there's two Chang videos going around. The one you sent me where how he lost his eye, yes, I did like it. I pretty much knew the story because I watched the entire video from Klingon Academy, but it was good to see a short video of it. And then on the Bird of Prey 5X channel, I uploaded a short clip from Family Guy that has General Chang in a cameo, and it's hilarious. And I didn't even notice. Mamo Prey noticed this morning. I got over 700 views on it from the Bird of Prey 5X channel. It's just a short 45-second clip from Family Guy. So if anybody's interested, that's there. I'm going to drop out for a few minutes to give Rambling Canuck some time, but I'm going to still be here listening and whatnot. I'll come back in when I can. You guys enjoy. Talk a little bit amongst yourselves.
Hi, Rambling.
Hey, and Bird, anytime you want to just jump in, just put me backstage and take over.
Matthew, have you ever been to Arizona?
I haven't been to Arizona yet. Yes, I have.
Oh, okay, you have.
A long time ago.
Okay. How about what other states besides Texas and New Mexico do you normally go to?
Oh gosh, I don't get too far east, but I do get a lot of north, northwest, and west kind of work, especially in the oil and gas field kind of stuff I do. So a lot of times I'll go up to somewhere like, not Minnesota, but it's near Minnesota, Wyoming, which may or may not be anywhere near Minnesota.
Yeah, it's not really.
I'm pretty bad at geography. I'm pretty bad at geography.
Yeah, there's about 2 states in between the two at least. There's the Dakotas,
And he may or may not have a big trunk to hide certain luggage that look like body bags, but they're not.
It's all electrical equipment and tools, I swear, officer.
I have something important to say for everyone. If you look in the channel, you can follow the link there, and it's possible for you on eBay to buy the biography of the Victorian woman. So for everybody wanting to buy the biography of the Victorian, you got it. The link is on it. You go to eBay, you buy the book, and you have every information you need about the Victorian baboon woman.
yeah, I remember hearing about Julia. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I know that's something to do with Star Trek Discovery, but I haven't seen it, so I'm missing the reference.
Yeah, Julia Pastrana was her name, and I remember there was a show on when I was a kid on I think it was HBO. It was a documentary about various circus sideshow attractions, and she was one of the spotlights. A very tragic life that woman had.
Yeah. Now, who likes? Since I've changed my avatar, who likes Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
I dabbled in it, but I don't remember that much of it.
Never read it.
I think the second kind of lost me, but I liked most of it.
I've heard of it.
Okay, so you never read the books or anything?
Played the video game.
Yeah, the old text video game, you mean?
Yep.
Along with what was the other one that was famous at the time? Besides that,
He made a point and click adventure game, not Orson Scott Card. Wow, Michael Douglas, the Starship Titanic, I think it was.
Yeah, you could be right about that.
Well, at least the Starship Titanic won't sink.
Yeah,
You'd like to think that, wouldn't you?
It'll blow up.
I guess, right?
I still laugh that there's supposed to be another one being launched in 2022. That just makes me laugh.
What, a Titanic?
Yeah, Titanic 2. It's been in the works for like 10 years. It's been in the works for 10 years, and it hasn't happened yet. But it's supposed their new supposed launch date is 2022. The thing's being supposedly made in China, which doesn't give me any more more help on that one. And yeah, they're supposed to they're supposed to be flying it under the Blue Star Line, and then they're supposed to take the exact route the Titanic did on its maiden voyage. And I just shake my head every time I read about it.
That seems like a bad idea and very poor taste. Like, hey.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they figure enough people who were directly affected by the first Titanic sinking are probably dead by now, so they wanted to use the name. But there are just some ship names that will live forever in infamy, as far as I'm concerned, and that's one of them.
Well, it was supposed to be launched on the 100th year anniversary. They were supposed to do it for that anniversary, and it did. It fell through, money, etc. And now they're saying no. This time it will launch, and it will launch in 2022, which is yet to be seen. But yeah, I just find it hilarious.
But do you all know that in 2010 they did the movie? Do you know that they did a movie named Titanic 2?
Yes, they also did Raising the Titanic. They also did that one that won all the awards there with Leonardo DiCaprio. And yeah, there's been many Titanic movies.
Are there any Doctor Who fans in here?
Well, TJ's still here.
I'm a fan of Doctor Who up through Russell T Davies.
Okay, good. I was going to mention the David Tennant Christmas episode where he boarded the starship Titanic, and they're like, yes, he randomly selected the name based on the most popular ship ever created, and the Doctor's like, do you know why it's popular though?
Yeah, it was the most famous ship in Earth's history at the time, and they're like, do you know why it's famous? Nobody knew.
It's sunk.
Yeah.
The unsinkable ship sunk.
As I remember, they are more people that died on the Empress of Ireland. You know, I don't know if you know the Empress of Ireland, but it was like another of that big cheap ship, and he sunk like in I think it was in St. Lawrence River, and they had already more depth than on the Titanic, as I remember, because that ship sank really, really quickly. I mean, it was wrong.
Yeah.
Well, the Titanic wasn't cheap.
No.
By any metric, the Titanic wasn't a cheap ship.
Yeah. It's the sister ships, Britannic, and I can't remember the name of the other one. They were actually Olympic. Yeah, they were actually fancier. But I think that the Titanic was the first one. I don't remember the exact.
No,
lineage,
it goes. The Titanic and the Britannic. Titanic. It goes Olympic, Titanic, Britannic. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, because the Olympic and the Olympic launched first, and then hit the cruiser, because they have such great luck with ships that were designed by them. And then while that one was still being repaired, the Titanic launched and then sunk, and then the Britannic, either depending on which camp you're in, it either was torpedoed or it hit a mine, depending on which camp you're in.
Yeah. I mean, there's just certain things you shouldn't name a ship. Titanic being one, Sultana being another one. That's most historians believe that's the the ship that the greatest American maritime disaster of all time was the Sultana. It was a Mississippi paddle wheeler that was hauling Union soldiers of prisoners of war back up north
Well,
to Illinois.
They'll probably never name one Arizona again either, though, because of Pearl Harbor, right?
Well, a ship being sunk in battle is one thing, but yeah, Arizona they may not do that.
Another one would be
That's just Minnow, not a good choice.
Yeah, Hindenburg would be another one. Anything that was. Yeah, the Edmunds Fitzgerald's a big one. Of course, that was named after a person. So
And Challenger, obviously.
Well, Star Trek named a few Challenger, but yeah.
Now, which came first, Star Trek's Challenger or the space? Well, space shuttle. That's not the right word, is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the NASA vehicle did as well. I think Discovery was also. Didn't Discovery blow up too? I can't remember. I should know this stuff.
It was Challenger and Columbia.
Okay.
Yeah, Challenger and Columbia were the two that.
Columbia was okay. Yeah, Columbia was like the first operational one, right? The Enterprise was their test vehicle, and then Columbia was the first one. So yeah.
I was wrong.
Challenger's the one that flew up over Texas.
I was wrong. The Empress of Ireland got 1,000 dead, and the Titanic 1,500. So I was wrong about it. I think this is maybe like the percentage of people that died that was higher on the Empress of Ireland. But when you kill 1,500 people on a boat sinking, I mean, maybe your boat was too big. What did I think about it?
Yeah, rock solid. You're right about that. The Apollo 11 capsule was Challenger.
Yeah.
Well, Apollo 1 was the original one that was with the fire in the capsule and stuff like that.
Yeah. Mr. Miles says he's surprised I haven't mentioned the Kursk. Well, I would mention a couple other ones before I mention the Kursk, most notably American submarines that officially sank, like the Thresher and the Scorpion. But yeah, Kursk was a pretty awful thing.
Yeah, on that Apollo fire, have y'all seen the HBO series? What was it, When We Left Earth, or From Earth to the Moon? I forget which one it is.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it was called From the Earth to the Moon, if I'm right.
Okay, When We Left Earth was the Discovery Channel documentary then. But the HBO one is just a fantastically well done dramatization of the Apollo program and how we got to the moon. And they did a great job going over that Apollo 1 fire. And just how it could have been avoided. Like they had warnings all over the place. And people they didn't listen to the warnings, the engineers.
Right, they didn't put a way for the astronauts to get out of there, basically.
Yeah.
Well, not just that, but there are rules about how much Velcro you could use, but people kept using Velcro because it was convenient. And they kept warning that the level of oxygen was way too high, and that it was a disaster waiting to happen. And they said, you're wrong. Oxygen levels are fine. You don't need to be worrying about Velcro. And sure enough, a small spark is all it took to set off the oxygen because of how high of a concentration they were doing it.
Although I will just chime in on one of the comments that Bird highlighted when the person said the Titanic never sank, and that's alluding to my brain just went blank. The people who say that the Olympic and the Titanic were switched, and it was the Olympic that went down and not the Titanic. So I just found it funny that somebody mentioned that in the chat. So carry on.
Yeah, I find it odd that the oxygen they say ignited, because oxygen doesn't actually burn. It aids in combustion, but it's the fuel of the fire that burns. And yeah, very strange.
And yeah, Joseph, the conspiracy was debunked because they pulled up plate parts of the hull of the Titanic, and also the propeller was the proper designation for the Titanic and not the Olympic.
Who dropped off?
Oh, it would be Matthew.
Matthew.
like
Oh, I guess he got where he's going.
In a car accident.
I hope not.
No.
Matthew, if you just got dropped, you want to come back, feel free. Otherwise, maybe you got where you're going.
Yeah, and then obviously, what's the famous movie they show all the time? Battle Midway or whatever like that. You lost a lot of ships before that battle. The U.S. Navy did.
Well, Mr. Miles, I mean, why wouldn't I be Amerocentric? I'm an American. I mean, I would expect a British citizen to be, UK centric. I would expect, a Canadian to be Canadian centric. I mean, I do know a little bit more about other ships from other fleets, but I mean, in my personal hierarchy of things to discuss, I would probably want to put the American subs first before a Russian one.
I would have to say personally the most horrible. Yeah, I'm making it words up now. I like my English.
You've been in Winnipeg too long.
Yeah. It could possibly would be like a naval accident where a sub goes down to crush depth. That would be just freaking horrible. Just to imagine something like that. I know I watched a movie late 80s, early 90s that freaked me out as a kid. I think it was called Gray Lady Down or something like that. And it was a made-for-TV movie.
Yeah, Christopher Reeve was in it.
Yeah. And that just screwed me up as a kid.
Yeah, ships. Stories about ships though that sink that aren't submarines are, I think, a little bit more horrifying because, quite frankly, they're not supposed to go underwater.
Yeah,
Get out though. Come on.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
I mean,
and the Battle of the Coral Sea is another Japanese battle during World War II where the U.S. lost lots of carriers and stuff like that.
Yeah, kamikazes and another device that a lot of people don't know about called the Kaiten torpedo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Japanese actually had manned torpedoes back then. They would give a guy a funeral. They'd seal him up inside the torpedo. They'd feed him soup and things like that through a system. He'd have to pee out, some special filter or whatever to get it off the torpedo. But when it came time to launch the torpedo, his job was to make sure that torpedo hit the target. And there's actually a couple of stories of Imperial Japanese sailors who did in fact chicken out and escape after the torpedo was launched, but a lot of them didn't. And most accurate torpedo of the war.
Yeah, that's a manned guidance system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Warhammer.
Well, they had
40,
a couple of really wild
40K,
ones.
You have that too. In Warhammer 40K, you have like the Gretchen, like the goblins. They are in the rockets, and the orcs, they are throwing the rockets with people with the Gretchen inside, driving the rockets for be sure to touch. So that's funny, but that's not the same thing. That's true.
I can still hear the crickets.
And then you've heard of the Forrestal fire, of course, Darren, right?
Yeah, you couldn't go through basic training in the Navy without learning about the Forrestal and the fact that John McCain was on that carrier too. His disaster just seemed to follow his career. That poor guy.
Oops.
Yeah.
You don't put out one cigarette and you never hear the end of it. No.
Yeah.
McCain, wasn't that the ketchup dude?
No, fries. Get it right. Fries.
Yeah, that's the first thing they almost always say, when you're doing the training for firefighting, because of the forest stall
Yeah.
incident,
Yeah, guys running around in t-shirts trying to put a fire out. Yeah.
Whoops. Yeah, that's not no protection.
Yeah. Well, just think about, you saw the video where they had to actually dump the jets overboard. They had to push the jets off the flight deck and let them sink to the bottom because it's how expensive were those back then? And
Well, I mean, because you got magnesium and all these special metals and stuff like that are just going to keep burning and burning and burning. So I mean
Never mind if the ordnance go off.
Plus,
obviously,
if you got missiles and bombs attached to the plane too,
and then if you're British, the one that for a military ship you'd be bringing up first is the hood.
Yeah, the hood died honorably in battle. But,
she did.
Yeah, I mean, and that also was the story of the hood and what happened afterwards with the sinking of the Bismarck is actually a really good story. I mean, that's fascinating stuff.
Yeah, I guess the most recent thing obviously is the Cole incident.
Oh yeah, that changed a lot of how the Navy does things too. Now they've actually got a mock-up of a moored frigate, like in a warehouse sort of situation at Great Lakes Naval Academy, and the new recruits have to spend like 72 hours in there just running drills constantly, battle station drills and damage control drills.
The thing is, now, because we had this occur when we were patrolling the oil fields off of, Kuwait and Iraq and Iran or whatever. You do not let any ship, because they would constantly do this, come see how close they could get before you would start laying down fire to make them turn around, basically, and they keep on doing that over and over and over again. And we were anchored even off the coast for a little bit, and they had to as soon as we anchored, these guys, little boats, kept on coming, as close as they could before, because we had people manning the 50 cows, and they just had to keep on firing at them, and then eventually they just pulled up anchor and we just left,
Mm-hmm.
So it's a big serious thing now that you cannot let any kind of a boat that you do not recognize even close to you anymore.
Yeah.
That's something you wouldn't have to worry about in the sub.
Well, I did hear stories, whether they're real or not, I don't know. But basically, there was a situation where a submarine that was Russian actually had some Chechnyan rebels swimming up to it, like frogmen trying to plant explosives on the hull.
Oh wow!
While they're submerged, and the solution for this problem was to use active sonar on these frogmen. Now, when a submarine's sonar goes active, and this is true of a American sub as well, if you go full max power and you do a ping underwater, it has a tendency to boil the water in front of the ship. There's so much sonic energy moving through the water that it kills the fish within 100 feet of the bow. And apparently they went active on the divers because they could see them approaching through a periscope, and they basically died of like skull fractures and also scalded flesh from the boiling of the water, because they pinged them several times, and they then retrieved the bodies and looked at the bodies and saw what the damage was, and like all the small bones in their body, like this.
There will be DS9 today. I'm sorry, I just had to fix that.
That's okay.
On.
The smaller bones in their body, like the ones in their pinky fingers, and obviously the ones in their ears, obviously those tiny bones, those are all just
obliterated.
Smashed to heck. It was all like they were like paste. And so, I mean, if there's a reason why submarines don't normally go active unless their position is already known. Because obviously you make a lot of noise and it causes a lot of interesting effects in the water. So that was their solution. Now again, that's a story I heard. That's not something I witnessed or anything, but I can totally believe it, because when we would test our active sonar on Trepang, every time we did it, all sorts of dead fish would pop up in front of the boat.
Free food.
Yeah.
Now, Darren,
Fishing made easy.
now,
Yeah.
Darren, when you pulled in, when your sub pulled in to a port wherever overseas, I would imagine then you were on what port and starboard watches, basically.
Well, usually we had a forward watch for the quarterdeck area, by the weapon shipping hatch. Then we also had an aft watch, and port and starboard. No, we had a three duty section usually.
Okay, so you were able to basically, if you didn't have duty that first night, and then obviously if that's the case, everybody gets smashed and stuff like that.
Oh yes, yeah.
Especially
Especially
able to enjoy 2 days in a row before you had duty, basically, I guess.
usually, yeah. Depends on the luck of the draw. If you have duty the day, so most of us like to have duty the night we went, the night we arrived, because then we would get up the next morning and we have the day.
Shortest night anyway.
Yeah.
But
So
people would still get drunk off their minds even at that short time,
Well, especially if you've been sober and haven't had any alcohol in 2 to 3 months, and then you have it. There's a tendency to overdo it.
Right.
So, Darren, just a question about frogmen in the water and trying to possibly plant explosives on a submarine. Would you guys have heard them? I know you weren't in that situation, but would you have heard them in the water, possibly?
Well, story goes they saw their inflatable raft approaching, and unlike the boats of World War II, there's no deck weapons on modern submarines. Yeah. So, they could have, I suppose, just turned and gone the other way and waited for the Chechens to give up the chase or whatnot. But Russians aren't really going to do that. They're just not going to. And so that's how they were able to see them coming. They couldn't necessarily hear them, but they were at periscope depth when this was going on, so they had the periscope up and they could see them. And then they saw the divers leave the raft and jump in the water, and they knew approximately where they were, and they just turned the ship and gave them a couple pings.
Well, yeah, what I was suggesting is that even if they weren't at periscope depth or they didn't see them at all, could they hear them in the water?
If they were talking, maybe that close. Again, the sensitivity of a Russian submarine sonar system, if it's comparable to ours, they could hear something. Would the crew? The
water.
Yeah. Would the crew be able to recognize? Well, the thing is, they heard the little motor on the on the raft, of course. But once they got in the water, there's the other thing. Our frogmen, like SEALs and UDT type guys, they don't use like oxygen tanks the way like a scuba diver would. No. These guys, they use a rebreather, which is basically you breathing your own breath back and forth, but it gets oxygenated and it gets the CO2 scrubbed. And that's why they have these little tiny canisters of oxygen that last a long time, because the CO2 scrubbers are the thing that actually gives them a lot of their oxygen, so they're able to go a long way. But the benefit is you don't have any bubbles coming up to the surface, and those bubbles, if you had scuba divers coming after a sub, the sonarmen, if they're on their game, should definitely be able to hear the bubbles. And
now, did you have specific people that would be diving from your sub at all?
We had some operations, that had, and of course every submarine has at least 2 divers that are, every once in a while when you're out at sea, you have to send the divers out to do a hull inspection and things like that while you're in the water, and so you hear them. But they're awfully close. They're like right in front of the hydrophones. So yeah.
Okay, it was. Well, I guess you can't go into how often that occurs or anything, right?
It's considered routine maintenance. Every once in a while, a submarine will stop if its deployment allows it. For like half a day, while the divers go out there and they kind of they get out there with their great big halogen lights.
What are they looking for specifically?
They're looking for, like, do we need to replace any zincs? Things like zincs are these little zinc blocks that are on the hull that are designed to corrode before the hull does. It's a really weird thing. The zinc reacts with the seawater, so the seawater like corrodes the zinc blocks before it starts corroding the hull. And so if we've lost any of those, that they need to know about that and possibly replace the zincs.
They put that same thing on heavy equipment up here.
Yeah.
Was there any area of the ocean specifically that it was worse in versus another area, or no?
Well, we wouldn't want to do it in the North Atlantic at certain times of the year, because that water's temperature, you got about 2 minutes before, even if you're in a thermal suit, you're eventually going to do it. So ideally you want to do it in the summer or in the Pacific, or something like that where it's warmer.
Okay. Well, and I meant, was there any area of the ocean that would build up zinc more than any other area? Basically.
No, we're not. Yeah, we're not talking about. There's not enough zinc on all the hulls on the Navy. There's not enough. If they all went kaplooey at once, it wouldn't. It'd be a fart in the wind. It'd be a drop in the ocean, I guess.
So you never built up enough that you ever had to worry about it, basically.
No. There was never an ecological issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alex is coming. But the zinc, those blocks, isn't it to prevent the corrosion from the salt?
Right, the salt attacks. It's really weird. And when they told it, when they explained it, how it works, it kind of didn't make sense to me either. But the idea that if the sub is submerged in salt water, wouldn't the salt attack the hull wherever from wherever? But apparently, putting strategically placed zincs on the hull, it protects the rest of the ship from heavy corrosion over a long period of time. So, eventually the hull is going to rust out. There's no way around it. But the zincs apparently slow that progress by giving the salt like another thing that's even more excitable than the HY80 hull.
Now, you also had to have a certain thing to demagnetize your hull as well, right?
I'm not going to go there.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Because we can start shooting holes in other things.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Let's just say that whenever you cross a magnetic line of longitude, there is a static electric charge that you pick up. And a boat that any ship really that goes through enough of these in a short time is going to have a very different electromagnetic signature than something else. So that's one of the reasons why get a helicopter operation, trying to get somebody off of a sub in a helicopter is very dangerous because of the EM and the static electricity buildup between the two vehicles.
So that part
shock.
So that part that they show in the movie Hunt for Red October when he's trying to get on the sub is pretty realistic in a way.
That was dead on, yeah. And that will happen. That can happen with surface ships too. Yeah. But with subs, it's a little bit different because they're smaller and there's more profile, exposed to the. Well, for its size, there's more profile exposed to the EM fields and things. So yeah.
I'm surprised lines of longitude exist on a flat Earth.
We went there.
What about Haley's Comet?
You want to have that discussion, Bird? Or
is there a quick answer?
Yes, there is. If you go to Google and you look up the geocentric azimuthal equidistant projection, you will see the flat Earth model, and you can see there are definitely lines of longitude on it.
Obviously, you guys use degaussing, right? You
have to have the hull degaussed every once in a while. In fact, that is the source of the myth of the USS Eldridge. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with that. The USS Eldridge is a military legend about a ship told the Eldridge that Nikola Tesla and a few other people during, I guess, World War II made that ship invisible or made it teleport.
Philadelphia experiment.
Yeah, the Philadelphia experiment is what it's called, and they did base at least one movie on that. And what a lot of people think, a lot of skeptics think, is that they just heard some sailors in a bar talking about, the degaussing procedure for their ship, and that somebody misheard it, and this legend was created. I don't know. I've heard a lot of conflicting information about it. It's something I have looked into a little bit.
That's all I was trying to get at. It was that
Yeah.
You have to constantly have your degaussing field on.
Yeah.
I need to do a video about all this. Is interesting. There's many things on a military ship you got to do to stay, number one, invisible as possible. Obviously, especially for your sub.
Well, yeah, there's going to be a video that on Andy Trekker's channel soon where I look at the episode Minefield from Enterprise, and I talk about mines, and I stick to, for brevity's sake, the contact mine, which is the kind that blow up when a ship touches the mine. But there's other ones that are set off by
mines.
Yeah, they're set off by that static electric field that I talked about earlier, where any change in electromagnetism in the environment will set them off, and those are real dangerous, obviously. And so for a ship, you would want to be degaussed before it was going to penetrate a minefield.
Now, did you accidentally maybe do something too fast on the sub and then touch something metal and then you got a shock from that anytime?
No, not those of us on board. No, but a submarine doesn't really usually when it's sneaking around, doesn't make any sudden fast movements anyway because of cavitation. That's the number one enemy when it comes to submarine maneuvers and remaining stealthy is cavitation. So you want to avoid that.
So like when they're doing that serious cavitation of the propeller in Hunt for Red October, you're going to be obviously letting yourself known to everybody, right?
Yeah, that's a big deal. When Captain Mancuso does that on purpose, he's doing that to let them know that they're there, to sort of reveal their location, that they're right there. And he did it without, going active or anything. He just, it's one of those things that,
Too much cavitation will destroy the screws too.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I can definitely, because a lot of people don't know that the propeller on a submarine, I don't know about the surface ships, but the propeller on a submarine is mostly brass, and brass is not the most durable metal. It's not like the steel or the rest of the hull. So, a lot of things can happen to your propeller if you're not careful. There's been stories I've heard of, up by Nova Scotia when it's whale mating season, the submarine finds itself in the wrong spot, and a bull whale will charge the propeller and damage it. Of course, the whale will also die, because the propeller wins. But it's
do you have one rudder or two?
The one I was on had one.
Or is that classified?
Well, it's we have a helmsman and a plainsman. The helmsman controls the rudder, and there's only one, and then there's the planes, which are two. And on mine, we had fair water planes instead of bow planes.
Okay. Well, the planes are the two little things on the front, basically, that look like they're sticking out on the sides, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I guess most subs nowadays have two rudders, I guess, right?
I don't know, to be honest. Mine had one rudder and had two sets of planes. One set on the fairwater planes and another one back, with the rudder.
Yeah, like the airplane tail fin.
Right. One controls depth, the other one controls direction. Yeah.
Okay, in unrelated news, Macaulay Culkin joined American Horror Stories 10th season.
Okay.
He's got an acting him.
Okay. And you said that you never had to turn the sub in a certain way that you were kind of leaning.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we do. You take angles all the time. The thing is, though, that, like I say, cavitation is a big enemy, and it's one of the things that dictates what maneuvers you can make at different speeds. if you're supposed to be quiet, you don't want to cavitate. Another thing, if you've got the towed sonar array deployed, you don't want to make a swift turn to starboard, because the propeller will chop the cable and sever the array.
And I guess, has that ever happened on a sub? Obviously,
I think it probably has.
Okay.
Yeah, it's there's too much information on what happens for it not to have happened at least a couple times.
Somebody screwed up.
Yeah. Well, it's even the one that Trepang had was a couple $1 million. So I mean, it's like if the officer of the deck, who could be a junior officer, just fully qualified, forgets about the towed array and makes a sharp starboard turn, and nobody mentions, hey, we've got this thing we're dragging behind us, and the propeller chops it off. A, you've probably damaged the propeller a little bit, and B, you have to get a new array installed, and that's a pain in the butt because it requires going back into dry dock, and
So you never had to pull in for repairs at all when you pulled in, ever, or did you?
my boat did have to go. We pulled into Kings Bay, Georgia, which is a ballistic missile submarine base that Jimmy Carter gave to his state while he was president. So it was a relatively new base.
It's real close to Jacksonville, where I live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because go ahead.
Go ahead.
We had to pull in there to get some repairs done so we could finish what we were doing. And it was very rare for an attack submarine to be in a boomer base. And we were just amazed that, because this is the 90s, right? And that base was built in the late 80s, or excuse me, the late 70s. So no building was older than 15, 20 years. And it just looked nuts to us. It was like, we thought it was a real cushy, place to live and work. Although we didn't like the alligators and we didn't like the mosquitoes, but other than that, But we as soon as we pulled in and the base got word that this old 637 submarine pulled in, every sailor on the base wanted a tour, and we actually had to turn people away because we had to get our work done and leave.
Because they'd never seen anything like that, huh?
Right? They'd never, usually when you leave sub school, you go to your first boat, and usually people on boomers tend to stay on boomers.
Okay. Yeah, because on the amphibious ship I was on, and it was a real old one.
Yeah.
We were lucky during our deployment to have one. We had only one good engine the whole deployment. Number two, because you normally only operate 2 out of the 4 anyway. But the second one they could never get working straight, so we had to pull in and out of Bahrain about 3 or 4 times just to get it fixed to semi work.
Yeah.
Darren, got another question. So, in your lifetime as a submariner, when it comes to, let's say, like an emergency surface situation, and you guys are at depth, do you guys go straight up, or is it like sort of a corkscrew maneuver?
Usually it's straight. We're not corkscrewing like left to right or anything, but it was if you do an emergency blow at test depth, you're going to come up like a cork. You're probably going to be at a 45-degree angle or steeper, and you really want to try to keep it at no greater than 45 degrees, because then you have problems with equipment and things like that on board. But you also can't really stop. That was what happened with the Greenville off of out there in the Pacific when it hit the Japanese fishing trawler. Back in 2000, I think it was. They were basically doing a VIP cruise, and we used to hate those. Where politicians would come on board and we'd take them out, 12 nautical miles. We'd go down to a fairly deep, I won't say how deep, but we went down to a fairly deep depth, and then we would do an emergency blow to the top, and and because the helmsman and plainsman don't really have much to do on the ascent, because there's not a lot they can do other than try to keep us level, and that's mostly done with the ballast tanks and things. They would put civilians in the helmsman plainsman position, because all they had to do was sit there. They didn't really have to do anything, and they did that, and they banged into a fishing trawler and killed some people. And that's when I think VIP Cruises probably got a second look and saying, why are we doing this? You know, but in that case, there was nothing the Greenville could have done. When you're moving that fast, you can't detect anything in front of you. You're supposed to, make sure that there's nothing in the area before you do that. But apparently that trawler, was there and nobody caught it. And yeah, a whole bunch of Japanese high school kids lost their lives that day because they were on it was like an academic oceanography kind of thing that they were on. They were students, and the Greenville crashed into them, and the captain, of course, got relieved. And yeah, you can look it up on Wikipedia. It's got a pretty good information on it.
You're just out on the ocean one day, and Jesus, you don't ever expect a submarine to come out from underneath you.
Yeah, and it's powerful. The submarine will get about half of its body up into the air before it then comes crashing down and levels off. There's a piece of stock footage that's been used in a couple different movies. They used it in Hunt for October. They used it in Down Periscope of a Los Angeles class submarine, doing that. And so it's an absolutely real thing. You come up like a cork, you come up like a rocket, a real slow rocket, but still a rocket. And it's I've always thought it was dangerous. Even if everybody is doing what they're supposed to do, it's still dangerous, because the sub can't see where it's going. It can't use its sonar to see if there's something in front of it. It just has to plow through whatever's in front of it. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good question by Stress Free K about Rios, Picard, and Seven being veterans of war and feeling alienated from society. Well, yeah, if Starfleet's the way it is and treating them pretty badly, then yeah, I would feel kind of alienated from that kind of scenario,
Well, Seven, correct me if I'm wrong, Seven wasn't actually in Starfleet. She was sort of like a passenger.
Well, at the end of Voyager, and then who knows what happened in between to make her disillusioned, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah.
Starfleet,
Yeah, well, we know that Picard, of course, had his own feelings about what Starfleet at least should have been. He, AT puts up the quote all the time that, he declares that Starfleet isn't a military organization, and Riker parrots him, and, it drives some of us crazy, but, it's kind of funny because that's clearly what he thinks it should be. And when you're the captain, you can make declarative statements like that. No one's going to challenge you.
But then again, that was early STNG as well.
Yeah, I mean, I had a CO one time that declared to us that the U.S. Navy is a fighting force. It doesn't do soup kitchen assignments. That's what we used to call it when we humanitarian aid and stuff. But and then
how many COs did you have during your time? 2, I imagine.
3.
Oh, 3. Okay.
Yeah,
was there
yeah.
One,
but
was there one that you liked better than the other, I guess?
Yeah, the last one I got was better. The best, my favorite anyway. I mean, the first one I only was on board for about 2 weeks before he left, and then the one that I had for the first 2 years was the white glove guy that I mentioned in Canucks stream, and then the third one, we had him for the last 18 months, and he was a guy who got injured early in his career, and so he was an older commander rank, and this was basically going to be his only chance to be a submarine captain for the last 18 months while Japan, before Japan got decommissioned and scrapped, and so he was the most gung-ho of the 3 captains because this was his only opportunity to be the command of a ship, and so he wanted to get the most out of it, and that's what we kind of liked about him. Under him we started winning war game exercises, and so it was more fun to be under that guy.
Okay, and I guess you still keep in contact with certain people that you served with, or no?
Yeah, I mean, Facebook's good for that.
Right.
And there was a time when you didn't, when you were lucky if you saw anybody you served with when you leave that service, because they're from all over the place. But it's thanks to the internet, we can all keep in touch if we want to, and
Okay. Yeah, I did not know if you ever had reunions or anything like that.
there have been reunions, informal ones usually. I mean, not any official ones, but a lot of times the problem that with having a reunion like that, it's not like a class reunion where you have a certain number of people in a year that were there, because people are coming and going all the time on a sub. So you'll have, you know, an informal reunion just from the people who know each other, you know. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, because I tend to keep in contact with the other medical people that I served with, at least on the carrier I was on.
Yeah.
Because that was more a close group, you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can imagine the corpsman life is that's a pretty tight rate. So yeah. We don't have to talk about subs anymore, though. That's okay.
Yeah, we can go
I mean,
Life with Matthews in Texas.
Yeah,
We've
can
got
go back.
about probably 5 more minutes before I have to hard kill the stream.
okay,
Okay,
your camera isn't going to go out on you, is it? It's going to run
No,
out
the
of battery
camera's
power?
not going to go out or come on, but
And
Okay.
Matthew looks frozen again, you know.
No. I think he's just pondering.
Or he's styling and profiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
I was
you
going to ask, is this channel driving with Matthew or?
Could
Or
I
dri-
like when he passes a truck, he puts the camera so he can see
Yeah.
him pass the 18-wheel. In fact, the first one I noticed, I think it said LCT on the side, which is a company my sister worked for many years ago. She was HR director for them.
That makes me nervous though when he's got the camera on and we're seeing what he's seeing, because there's certain places of the internet that have things you just shouldn't see, and there's a whole bunch of websites that have car accidents that you can view from that angle, and I may have seen a couple of those.
Yeah, but there's so many car accidents you see from this.
Oh, I know. Car accidents bother me. I don't like those.
Well, I mean, I see plenty that don't involve the person in the car that's taking the video.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like they'll show two cars colliding in front of another, in front of the camera, or a truck that does pops a wheelie, and
Wouldn't it be interesting if like a plane lands right in front of them?
Yeah.
Not like a Cessna,
Yeah.
like a 767.
Yeah, or a UFO would be even better, right?
Oh yeah, UFO. That would be
Yeah.
It's the only reason I watch NASCAR, man.
Matthew, look for UFOs.
Look at that big sky, Texas sky there. Isn't that
Yeah,
nice?
Yeah,
What's the
Yeah,
temperature out there, I wonder?
probably in the 60s, I'd imagine.
Oh man.
Oh, look at that car way ahead of him. It's going past the horizon.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha.
No, that is fisheye. That I gotta say that little curvature is probably fisheye effect.
I know, I'm just poking at Darren.
I know.
Well, if it was a little bit warmer, you'd see the Fata Morgana mirage on the street.
Yeah. I wonder, Matthew, do you run across deers at all, or any kind of animals?
Find out any moment.
That run across the highway sometimes. You ever encountered that, Matthew? Any kind of animals running across the highway?
Did he just get off an exit? No,
No,
it's
not
still on
yet.
the highway.
Not yet.
Highway, just drive in Charleswood, Winnipeg, and you'll find all the deer you want.
Yep.
He might not be able to hear us.
A couple of years ago, the state of Wisconsin had to make cuts to their budget, and one of the things that got cut was the department that removes roadkill from our highways. So for one summer, we had just deer everywhere.
Wow.
Terrible.
What else do you run across?
Pick it up.
Because I've hit a aardvark one time.
Ugh. Carlo says, do old subs get stripped down and sold to private sector, or are they too much for non-military? What I always heard was that the submarine gets turned into razor blades for Gillette and Bic and all these other things. I don't know. I mean, it's still pretty good steel, even if it's on an old ship. So I don't honestly know what they do with them. I only know what I heard, but I didn't follow the steel and make sure it went to a razor blade company.
Paratroopers and airborne operations.
Airborne operations. Well,
Anybody here a
I-
paratrooper?
No,
No.
Not me. So
no, I would never jump out of a plane on purpose.
perfectly good plane.
Yeah, exactly.
That rates up with bungee jumping and skydiving.
What's
and
that? Was those flight suits they're called, or those things people like flying like right next to like the mountains, and then
Flying
they just
squirrels.
Yeah, the flying squirrel
Yeah.
suits. Yeah.
oh yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, gotta love it.
natural selection.
And then you see these people. You see these people shooting videos on
gotta
top
go.
of these tall skyscrapers.
Take care.
Like that.
See ya.
You ever seen those?
Well, Vile Mike asks, how do you feel about crew complement numbers that are stated in sci-fi when compared to real life? They're all across the board. I mean, you have to have enough crewmen to fulfill at least a 3-section watch rotation. And so if you've got a crew that's only 30, but you see all 30 of them, in one room doing stuff, it doesn't make any sense. So sometimes they just have to work on that. But,
Yeah. I mean, like I said, on the carrier, your crew complement is basically about 5,000-6,000 people. But then
Yeah.
once the air wing comes aboard, you basically double that,
yeah.
So you're got way less space when the airplanes are aboard and stuff like that.
The Weather Channel in the U.S. is a national channel. I mean, the local forecasts they give are just computerized.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I think-
use
probably-
AccuWeather.
Yeah, he's probably talking about ain't there a certain weather channel that has somebody standing at a certain place that some activity is going on and they show the camera from that view or whatever? Is that the Weather Channel or is that something different?
I mean, I was just talking about the Weather Channel on cable.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess or CNN will sometimes cut in, I guess, if there's a hurricane going on in a certain area or something like that,
Hey, Trick Yards, Captain Foley.
Hey, maybe see if he wants to pop
Make,
on real
make
quick,
sure you
right?
get some sleep. Captain Foley, if you want to come in, I got a couple extra minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off, Bird. Thanks for having me on, and
Take care, Rambling.
talk to you later.
Well, yeah, let me see what they're discussing on the different channels here, if possible.
I'm going to turn on my cam because I want to show you guys something. I got this
Oh, sweet.
D4
That's the
concept.
Hero collection.
No, it's not the Hero. This is a standard size one, but
my
this is the one that should have been on Enterprise that didn't make it onto the show. So it's a basically a Katinga like body, but it's got the
Okay,
support structures all over it. You
Yeah,
can see it.
CNN is talking about the coronavirus right now.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll go back to normal here. There we go.
Yeah, that's on CNN right now. They're talking about the coronavirus. So let's see what else is going on.
Oh, of course they are.
Yeah,
Oh, and we got Captain Foley in. Welcome, Captain Foley.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey,
You're gonna get some rest for tonight.
What? Oh yeah, 3 a.m. I forgot.
yeah, 3 a.m. It's 3 a.m.
We've
in the
had
morning.
Manu on our show a few times. He's a good friend of ours, so I might even join the chat. So
you know
the actual
everybody.
on screen.
Yeah.
I don't know everybody. I know a lot of people.
I'm exaggerating, but you know everybody.
So, what do you want to see in this episode? I know you talked about it yesterday, Captain Foley, but
Well, tonight's our prediction video, so
oh, okay. Well,
I don't want to give
then
too much away. For
Yeah, I
what
don't
we're
want you to
thinking.
spoil it then.
That's at 5 Eastern Standard Time tonight. So
Okay, I was giving you a free plug there.
The plug is watch the prediction video.
Yeah, exactly.
So congrats, Bird of Prey, for getting Rob Meyer Burnett to share your video. That was a good video, by the way. I loved it.
Thank you. Actually, I feel so bad now because I rushed that video just to get it out. I could have wanted to do a lot more.
Yeah, I find the videos that I'm not the proudest of sometimes get the most exposure. I'm
Yeah.
like, God damn it! I should have put more time into that.
Yeah,
Okay,
I put on a little bit more time. That was
Yeah.
Robert Meyer Burnett shared my. I didn't tell anybody. Shared.
Apparently, there's a blizzard warning in Buffalo. Is there a blizzard warning in Canada, Captain Foley?
Blizzard warning.
Let me take a check. Let me take
It's
a look.
on the Weather Channel right now. Blizzard warning in Buffalo right now.
Wow. Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo, New York, as you would say, right?
Special weather statement. Let's see.
It's on the Weather Channel right now. Breaking blizzard warning in effect for upstate New York.
No, we got no blizzard warning, but we just got moderate to heavy snowfall for the overnight and tomorrow.
Yuck.
Captain Foley, I tried to find where he shared it, but I guess it was on his page, maybe.
No, he shared it in
a group. I didn't have. It's sort of visual storytellers. I tried looking for the group, but I couldn't find it.
the Post Geek Singularity on Facebook.
Oh, okay. See if I can find it then. I was just. And we got Ensign Ricky. Welcome, Ensign Ricky. We've got a few minutes.
Ensign Ricky's in the house.
What's going on?
Not too much.
So Manu, yes, Manu. I'm still trying to get Jake Sisko on fucking Anti-Trekker's channel. I know Jake. I talk to Jake all the time, Surak.
That's cool.
Yeah, I fucking hope I can get him on the channel because he's a cool dude. He might do it too. So
see if you can get him on Trek Yards. We'd love to have him on too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I'm part of their patron roundtable, so I got to talk to Aaron and Surak for the last 6-7 months when Aaron was still alive, and it sucks now because he's not here.
Yeah,
But
I got to know Aaron just at the end there, like in Vegas, right before he passed away. So it's kind of a shame, but
yeah, he was
got to talk
cool
to him
dude.
and hang out with him.
Yeah, I mean, they were both cool dudes, man. I mean, they would go about all their experience. Sometimes they bring actors on. We could talk to like Armin Shimmer and Nana Visitor, all them people. But yeah, they're a cool group, man. The Seventh Rule. But yeah, I mean, like for the last 6-7 months, I was talking to Aaron before he died, and both Sirach, and it's also another dude named Ryan that is with him that runs it, and he's an actor or whatnot. But it fucking was awesome just sitting there talking to Aaron and Sirach because you tell them ask them all sorts of shit of what they went through on DS9 and what they thought about particular episodes. And right now they just break down episodes. So I mean, it's just Sirach and Ryan right now just breaking down all the DS9 episodes as they go, and they do episodes of Picard too. But I'm definitely going to try to get Sirach to see if he could do it because he's not doing anything. So I mean, he's kind of like just chilling. You know what I'm saying? He's not really acting. He did like one part maybe like a year ago as like a security guard somewhere. But for the most part, he just chills. So
you know, I could have swore that Sirach was in Avengers Infinity War as one of the Wakandan soldiers, but I couldn't.
I don't think
find
so
him.
because he probably would have said something about it.
Yeah, probably. But I mean, it looked like him, you know. So
he said the last job he had was like I forgot what fucking it was like a TV film or something, and he played like a security officer. That was his last job, and he said he loved doing it or whatnot. But I don't think it was anything big, like super production wise, you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing him in Picard as a member of the Federation.
Right? I mean, I don't know. I think he's got a chance to go back, but I think even fucking E-Chip's got a chance to get back. His fucking best friend was Q.
So I'd like to see another interview with FNN on Picard where Sirach is the guy interviewing Picard, you know, because he was a writer, you know, and I thought that would be a great way to have a
absolutely.
I agree.
Also, Picard got into writing himself. He had been writing books.
No, he was writing books. They said he released a book or two, didn't he?
Yeah, so he might know him that way too.
Yep.
But I mean, just being Cisco's son, and probably everybody in the Federation knows him. You know what I'm saying? Well, maybe forgot about him in the last 20 years, but I'm sure they.
I don't blame you for killing my mother.
Ooh, yeah.
Maybe he still does. Maybe he's the one who kills Picard at the end.
You know, it's weird because we would assume that heroes in Starfleet would also be heroes in the civilian world, but you know, how many, you know, there's you know, we usually don't learn about great, you know, military heroes until after they're retired. and stuff. So it might
Or
be
dead.
that, or dead. Yeah.
Dead,
So it might be that not a lot of people in the Federation know who Cisco was, you know, and maybe just historians or whatever. But you know, it's not like they're, you know, actors.
Well, this is 20 years later too. So
Yeah,
I mean,
that too.
so I mean, but I don't know.
I just thought of it, and now it's like, now I feel like that's something they might do. I mean, I granted there's zero evidence, but if we ever get to season 2 or even season 3, and the series ends, you know, when after they've told their entire story and there's nothing left to say, and imagine Jake Sisko shows up at the end. Picard thinks he's done. He finishes what he did, and he's about to, you know, feel like he's going to lose his mind now, and he's afraid he's going to have to live out his life. You know, he wanted to die, and then Jake Sisko comes in and boom, shoots him with a phaser and says, "That's from my mother." Walks away.
Wow, that's dark.
It's dark, but that's what they're going for.
Man, yeah, they're turning Picard into Charlie Brown. I mean, they're both bald. You know, he's sitting. He's, you know, Picard's walking around going, "Good grief," all the time here.
Wait till Will Wheaton goes bald.
Ugh.
Even if he'd put on, he'd have the.
I can't wait. But Manu, I guess, is very accessible to most people. He's a very cool dude, from what I understand.
Yeah, I actually had a supper with him and his fiance in
Denver.
Samuel and myself did like 2-3 years ago when we were at Denver Comic-Con. Went out with them for supper. So, I mean, he's a great guy. Came back to our hotel room. We did some interviews with him. And then since then, he's been on the show a few times. He's helped us with some Borg tech episodes, which was really fun. So,
oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah, it's Interami. Is that
Interami? Yeah,
Manu Interami. Yeah.
Okay.
Interami.
Into ramen noodles.
Yes.
No.
Don't confuse me like that, Foley. I'm not good with names to begin with.
Well, that's how I remember people's names. I just make up different names, especially if there's got strange names. Like I had a friend in high school. His name was Rishi because he was Indian. Yeah. And I always called him ragweed at first. It's just my way of remembering his name, right? Because
some of those names are weird, man. I've worked for a bunch of Indians too, and all of them take Americanized names. So I mean, like Nero became Nick, Amrish became Rich.
And another one of my best friends from high school was his name was Ashok, so I just called him Asshook. It's just how in my brain I can remember their names.
I got you.
Kenneth, I mean, from what I can see on this episode of Picard, I'm not sure there's going to be any deaths.
Yeah, supposedly Triker and Roy are supposed to be in tonight's episode. So
I don't think that's happening.
They said episode 6.
Oh yeah, Riker's supposed to be in the next one. Yeah,
he is supposed to be.
Yep.
It's rumored that he's going to be. I don't know if I believe it.
And there's a huge reveal.
That's what I heard. I heard it too, but looking at the pictures from this next episode, I just don't see when they would do it, but it's possible.
I'm bowing out, guys. I'll talk to you again later.
Take it easy, Darren.
Yep, bye-bye.
Admiral Saval, we got maybe 2 or 3 minutes, so anything you want to say? I can't hear you if you can hear me. Okay, well, we'll wait for Admiral.
Can y'all hear me?
Now we can, yes. Admiral? Okay, well, let him work on his. We'll keep going.
Space Jon Snow.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's definitely going in that direction. I had those feelings from their first encounter.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I'm stoked for the next episode. And they said there was supposed to be a huge reveal in episode 7. So we'll see what that is. Huge reveal, episode 7. Riker and Troy, episode 6.
Captain Trek is nothing to worry about. I saw it on Twitter. I just didn't respond. It's totally okay, man. I get it. It happens. Don't give it a second thought.
How's everyone doing today?
Doing good, Admiral.
just woke up. Picard will apologize for someone else farting. Picard will apologize for short skirts.
Hey, Stuart, I love y'all's videos on all
Thank
the
you.
tips you do. Y'all put excellent work and effort into it.
Thank you. We appreciate that. We do a lot of work, and yeah, it's nice when people say things like that. So thank you.
Trek Yards is the best.
I second that.
I third that.
Yeah.
Well, at least one half of Trek Yards.
Hey, don't put down Stuart. I mean, don't put down
Sam.
Sam.
He's not here to defend himself, so that's the best thing to do.
It makes it worse.
Even if he was here, I'd still put him down because I love the guy. But best friends, you always gotta knock him down a few pegs every once in a while.
Well, I mean, plus it'd be hard for him to get
Hey,
any games because of the time difference. So I mean, it's like for him to even do stuff like this. I mean, what they're like 8 hours ahead or some shit.
5 hours ahead of me, and
5 hours.
he's pretty much on California time because he goes to bed at like 2 or 3 in the morning his time. So it's fine. It all works out. I also go to bed at like 3 o'clock my time, so I got a fucked up schedule too.
So, does it annoy you when people say "aid" to you all the time, Foley?
What about it? What about it, eh?
Maple syrup, eh?
Right?
Go get some Mounties. Mounties and
It's the standard Canadian trope.
Yeah.
I'm going at.
It's fine. I don't sound Canadian, so I'm fine with it.
Right? You're like the only Canadian that I know that does not sound anything like they're from Canada.
That's because I'm educated. Ooh, just kidding.
Wow.
Just kidding.
Wow.
What's your highest degree?
Astrophysics, Star Trek. 101.
Star Trek. Starfleet
No.
Academy. I never went to college, if that's what you're asking. I just
Yeah.
graduated high school. I was going to go for law and like police officer, law and security, but I never did that. So, but I was a private investigator for a number of years before.
Oh, wow.
So, are you in Nova Scotia?
What's that? Sorry.
You in Nova Scotia or Ontario?
I'm in London, Ontario.
Yeah, he's in Ontario. Yep. He's in London, Ontario, and fucking Samuel's in London, England.
Yeah, he's like 40 minutes outside of London, England, but yeah, close enough.
Anyway, guys, I hate to do this. We got a great stream going, but I do have to get going. So if somebody else wants to start, I would love to see it continue. I can't talk, but I would listen.
Fire quantum torpedoes.
But,
Well,
thank you, Captain Foley. Thank you, number one sci-fi.
Down with Kurdistan.
Admiral Savali, definitely down with Kurdistan. Ensign Ricky. Thank you all for hanging out, and everyone else who's been here. Obviously, Life with Matthew. We hope you get where you're going. Okay.
Yeah, don't life with Matthew. Don't do anything stupid like
Everybody
watch
knows me, Kiki.
a YouTube video while you're driving.
Hail Kuroga.
Hail Kuroga. Thank you, Captain.
Hail Kuroga.
Hail Kuroga. Okay, guys. Take care, all. Take
Bye,
care,
guys.
everyone. Qapla.
Qapla.
See you in later streams.